2021 Ladbrokes Masters Darts commences from the 29th to the 31st of January 2021, and it will be staged at the Marshall Arena in Milton Keynes, Buckinghamshire. It will be the 9th staging of the non-ranking tournament since it began back in 2013. Despite being the first major trophy on offer in 2021, the Masters isn't a ranking event, but it still produces some cracking darts entertainment. After the 2021 PDC World Championship produced one of the greatest World Championships ever, us darts fans will be hoping that the 2021 Masters will produce likewise. However, this year's event will feature two different things. The first is that due to the ongoing COVID restrictions, the 2021 Masters will be played behind closed doors and without fans. A shame, but as always, the show must go on. The second is that in the first 8 editions of the tournament, 16 players took part. However, this year the field will be increased to 24 players, with the top 8 seeds entering at the second round, and the players ranked 9 to 24 will enter at the first round. The prize fund for the 2021 Masters is as follows. The first round losers will take home £2,500, the second round losers bag £5,000, the quarter-finalists £10,000, the semi-finalists £17,500, the runner-up £25,000, and the winner of the tournament will bag £60,000. This year's prize fund totals up to £220,000, an increase of £20,000, but however that's due to expanding the field to 24 players. The tournament schedule is as follows. The 8 matches in the first round will take place on the opening night of the tournament. These matches will feature the players ranked 9 to 24. All games are the best of 11 legs, a race to 6. Sunday features the 8 winners from Friday night's action, taking on the 8-seeded players across 2 sessions. 4 matches will play in the afternoon, and the other 4 in the evening. All games are the best of 19 legs, a race to 10. Sunday afternoon will feature the 4 quarter-final matches. Like the second round, all games are the best of 19 legs, first to 10. Sunday afternoon will be the concluding session of the tournament, featuring the semi-finals and the final. All matches are the best of 21 legs, a race to 11. And we now go to the draw, where we start with the man of the moment, Gerwyn Price. Price had an incredible year in 2020, winning big titles such as the World Series Finals, the World Grand Prix and the World Cup for Wales alongside Johnny Clayton. He also won 4 Players' Championship events and a Euro Tour event in Belgium. Price then secured the biggest moment of his career at Alexandra Palace, where he defeated the likes of Jamie Lewis, Brendan Dolan, Mervyn King, Dowell Gurney, Stephen Bunting and Gary Anderson in becoming the 2021 PDC World Champion, and also the first Welsh player to become a PDC World Champion. His £500,000 winnings helped him become the new world number 1, ending Michael Van Gerwen's 7-year reign at the very top. Entering this event as the reigning world champion and the current world number 1, Price will certainly be the man to beat, and he takes on either Joe Cullen, who lost an epic 4th round match against Michael Van Gerwen at the World Championship, or Stephen Bunting, who Price defeated en route to his World Championship success. 2017 runner-up Gary Anderson had a tough 2020, which was once again littered with injury problems. But it wasn't all doom and gloom for Gary, as he recorded semi-final appearances at last year's Masters and at the Premier League. Anderson had also reached the World Match Play final, where he lost to Dimitri van den Berg, and then not long ago reached his 5th World Championship final, where he lost to Gerwyn Price. However, his run to the World Final moved him back into the top 8 of the rankings, proving that Anderson isn't finished yet. The 2-time World Champion faces either his protege and last year's runner-up Michael Smith, or the 2-time World Champion Adrian Lewis. Either way, it would be set for a quick second round clash. 2018 World Champion Rob Cross had a dismal year in 2020 and probably his worst year on the tour. Despite reaching finals in the World Cup and the World Series finals, it was a season littered with early exits, poor performances, and surrendering his World Match Play and European Championship titles at the first hurdle. Despite his torrid year, he was lucky to remain fourth in the world rankings and also lucky to secure a spot in the Premier League. Cross will hope 2021 paints a better picture, and he faces either the three-time BDO World Champion and the reigning Premier League champion Glenn Durrant, or recent Players' Championship Finals runner-up Mervyn King, who has shown an improvement in form in the last month. Nathan Aspinall's 2020 wasn't quite a year that he had hoped for, after quite an incredible 2019. After reaching the semi-finals at the Worlds for the second year running, Aspinall's only best ranking finish after that was a quarter-final appearance at the Grand Slam of Darts. Nevertheless, his high points were reaching the final on his debut at the Premier League, winning the first ever PDC Home Tour and also 2 Players' Championship events. Aspinall takes on either Stoke-on-Trent's Ian White or the 2017 Champions League winner Menzia Solovic. Nathan Aspinall's 2020 wasn't quite a year that he had hoped for, after quite an incredible 2019. After reaching the semi-finals at the Worlds for the second year running, Aspinall's only best ranking finish after that was a quarter-final appearance at the Grand Slam of Darts. Nevertheless, his high points were reaching the final on his debut at the Premier League, winning the first ever PDC Home Tour and also 2 Players' Championship events. Aspinall takes on either Stoke-on-Trent's Ian White or the 2017 Champions League winner Menzia Solovic. It will be a strange year for Michael van Gerwen. For 7 long years he held the world number 1 ranking, but after Gerwyn-Price's World Championship success, Van Gerwen was demoted to world number 2 for the first time since 2013. However, his demotion was caused by an average 2020, where Van Gerwen suffered some shock defeats, early exits, loss of form, and also failing to make the Premier League playoffs for the first time ever. But 2020 at least gave him some silverware, winning a 3rd UK Open, 6th Players' Championship Finals, and also 3 Players' Championship events. Van Gerwen has also shown signs of his form coming back in the latter half of the season, which will give his fans some solace. The Masters is a tournament that Van Gerwen loves so well, winning it 5 times and being undefeated at the tournament for 20 matches until Johnny Clayton defeated him 10-5 last year. Van Gerwen will face either the reigning Grand Slam of Darts champion Jose de Souza or Johnny Clayton himself. A tough one for Michael, whoever he faces. James Wade won this tournament back in 2014, defeating the likes of Brendan Dolan, Adrian Lewis, Phil Taylor, and then producing a famous comeback after overturning a 9-2 deficit to defeat Mervyn King 11-10 in the final. The machine will be looking for a second Masters title, and his form in late 2020 will certainly give him massive confidence after reaching the final in the European Championship and in the Grand Slam of Darts. Wade will face either the reigning World Match Play champion Dimitri van den Berg or the 2020 Players' Championship Finals and World Grand Prix semi-finalist Chris Dobey. Peter Wright will be introduced for the first time at this tournament as a former world champion after surrendering his world title to Gabriel Clemens at the 3rd round. But he is still the reigning Masters champion after beating Joe Cullen, Dave Chisnell, Gary Anderson and Michael Smith in a thrilling final to claim the trophy 12 months ago. Though 2020 wasn't the best for him, he did claim 4 Players' Championship events and also the European Championship. Wright will take on either Poland's Krzysztof Ratajski or 2012 European champion Simon Whitlock. Dave Chisnell, despite an average 2020, did produce 2 great semi-final runs. The first was at the 2020 World Grand Prix, where after thrashing Glenn Durrant in the first round, produced 2 comebacks from 2 sets down to defeat Ryan Joyce and Joe Cullen. He faced Gerwyn Price, where despite coming from 3-1 down, he missed 3 match darts to reach the final and eventually lost 4-3. The second was at the World Championship, where after defeating Keegan Brown, Danny Noppert and Dimitri Vandenberg, saw him record probably the best win of his career in the quarter-finals after beating Michael van Gerwen by 5 sets to 0, averaging 107 and ending a 27-match losing streak to the former world number 1. He failed to rekindle that form against Gary Anderson in the semis, losing 6 sets to 3, but that was enough to put Chisnell back in the top 6 in the world. Chisnell will face either former Players Champion Darrell Gurney or 2019 European Championship quarter-finalist Jeffrey Deswan. The 2021 Masters will be televised live on ITV4. Will one of the top guns claim the title? Will there be a surprise winner? Or will one of the players outside the top 16 win the title for the very first time in the tournament's history?